Hi everyone, I am Digital Maniac 3K, and this is going to be a very different video than I'm normally recording, because I want to talk about something that's also uncomfortable. And I know this channel is more about my weight loss journey, but I think this is also going to be about my journey with managing and living with my ADHD. Now, I know a lot of people, they kind of play ADHD down, but the more that I have been researching it and the more that I have been learning about ADHD, I realize that it has truly affected me for the majority of my life, and in a lot of ways that I really wasn't expecting. So today I want to talk about something that I did over the weekend that I'm honestly kind of proud of, even though it is kind of letting people into a bit of a dirty little secret of mine. But one of the things that I battle with ADHD is chronic disorganization. Now, you can see behind me in my background, really there's some parts that are kind of organized, mostly in the shelves, because that's on my main camera view. I'm actually recording on my phone this time, but if you see, there are other parts of my desk set up that are very disorganized. In fact, it's one of the reasons I can sit down and record a video without doing a lot of setup. I'm actually on a break from work right now. And it's the method where you go to a specific area and you start removing everything that does not belong in that area. So I'm going to give you an example. My streaming desk, which is where all of my camera equipment is. This is where I have a dedicated desk set up for all of this stuff. And it was honestly a disaster. And that was one of the reasons why I had trouble sitting down and creating content. It's because every time I sat down at it, I had to move stuff. I had to move this and that and the other, and it was overwhelming. So by the time I got my desk cleaned off and actually could sit there, log into my computer, start setting up the camera equipment, or setting up the game stations, or whatever I wanted to do, be it streaming or just recording videos, I was already stressed out. And that's no way to, I can't do that. How am I supposed to get on the microphone and go like, what's going on, everyone? Hi, I'm Digital Maniac 3K, blah, 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 blah. If I'm already stressed out, okay? And that's one of the problems that I've been battling. And that's also one of the reasons why my main channel, Kilobytes and Caffeine, is pretty much dead. I mean, I did record a video earlier this year. I posted a video that I had been working on for almost a year, but I have other videos that I've recorded and I just haven't sat down to edit. One I actually did, but now all my music is tied up with a license that I no longer have access to, so I can't post that video or I'll get a copyright strike. It's stuff like that. Now, it's one of the things, I actually love recording videos. I love making videos. Now, I have no idea where I lost my place, because this was an impromptu video. So let's think about it for a little bit. How can I overcome this? This is another thing that I do. I think this is going to be like B-roll for something. Okay, I was talking about game stations. I don't know. I can't remember. And this right here, okay, this is raw. This is legitimate. I had prepared this in my head beforehand. I'd rehearsed it. And I had to take the cat out of the room. And then when I did that, I saw that my kids were not doing what I had asked them to do. And that's completely derailed me. So I'm going to try to re-record this. I'm going to try to just keep this going. Let's make sure that the computer's still recording. Yeah. So when I have to sit down and clean my game station off. No. Oh, yeah, licensing. So that's one of the reasons why I haven't been able to record a lot of videos or post a lot of videos. And another reason that I've also not been able to record a lot of videos is just because simply that by the time I get done with work, I'm mentally and physically exhausted. Now, most of you know that I have an IT job, which is a desk job. In fact, I'm working from home today, and I am sitting at my game station. But that's just because my workstation is a disaster. You can kind of see it to the side there. And it's that way because of what I was doing over the weekend. Now, a cleaning technique that I started using basically is that you take a trash receptacle to your area, which I actually have trash can right beside me here. You take a box, they call it a Doom box, which, when I think of Doom, I think of something completely different. But what Doom stands for is didn't organize, only moved. And that kind of resonates with me because, again, going through my workflow of how I used to try to create content and stream and all of that stuff, this desk was a catch-all. And, I had to move all of this stuff. At one point, I remember back during the pandemic, I had so much stuff piled on my desk that I used to have to get my wife up early in the morning so that she could get off of the bed, just so that I could move my piles from the desk to the bed so that I could continue to do what I wanted to do for the day. That became very disruptive. And, this was also before I started getting seen for ADHD. And I absolutely just, it bothered me. It bothered me a lot. And honestly, that was kind of one of the reasons why I stopped creating content. If you look through my video logs of my old channel, and I promise you I am not trying to promote it or do anything like that. I'm just simply pointing this out. I flat out just stopped making videos. I was making them almost weekly for a while there. I was enjoying it. I was really enjoying life and everything with it. But then it stopped. And that's one of the reasons it stopped, was because my disorganization had become that disruptive to my life and disruptive to my hobbies. And, making videos, making stuff on YouTube, this isn't just another one of my ADHD fixations. There are parts... Believe it or not, folks, I am actually on my meds. And now I can't remember what the fuck I was saying. Don't give up. Don't give up on this. I have to diffuse that situation. I've been recording for 13 minutes almost. I haven't said a damn thing, I feel. Great. Okay, what was I talking about? Yeah. Okay. So I originally wanted to start doing podcasts and videos back in 2005. And, I had actually been a video editor before then. And, because of various things, I wound up having to sell my computers or sell my camera or whatnot. What's a fun fact is I still have my digital video camera from 2006. I guess it's now part of my retro camera collection. Yeah, you can see... Oops, right there. That is a digital camera that I bought my wife, who pretty much never really used it because she was using her smartphone, but it records in 720 high def. Now, it doesn't record audio. Well, it does, but it doesn't have an audio input jack, so I started learning how to mix audio and video that way. That's actually why it's up there, because technically that's the first camera that I wanted to use for YouTube. And if you think, well, wait a minute, that's 720. YouTube's all 1080 and 4K now. You're right, because 720 was the standard at the time. We're talking 2015, 2014, I believe is when I bought that. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. The thing is, I want to be able to do stuff like that. And that's why I prioritized cleaning up this particular station. Now, I did it in a method so that if there was trash on here, which there wasn't really that much, I'm not dirty per se, I'm just extremely disorganized. But sometimes, honestly, I look at something one day and I'm like, oh yeah, I need to hang on to that for some reason. I'll look at it 3 days later. I'm like, why the hell do I have that? Either it's cheaply made, it's cheap to replace, or it's just, I needed this for something. I've already done that something and I don't need it anymore. In the bin it goes, or I will go donate it. They almost know us by first name at the local Goodwills, because I'm going to go into something else later on, but that's one of the reasons why I have so much junk laying around. A lot of times I will do things for people and they won't actually pay me with money. They'll say, oh, well, here, have this. Oh, you're into these things. Here, have this. I've been paid with vintage video games, which I love because, well, you can tell I love games. But, I've been paid with, random bits that might be worth a lot on eBay, but they're worthless to me. Unfortunately, that's just part of this. And that's one reason why I wanted to sit down and actually clean my content creation station. The cool thing is, I've been using it pretty much all week. I've been actually sitting here. Now, I've not really been creating content except for this video. The fact is, I was able to sit down and do it. And I've been called lazy for trying to set things up like this so that I could just sit down and do it. But the problem is, I'm not actually lazy. When I come home from work, if I've had to be in forced socialization all day, I'm exhausted. I am mentally wrung out, and that doesn't even account for how much mental work that my job is. So especially if I've had to work on a very difficult task, then yeah, it doesn't even account for any of that. So that's one of the reasons why I'm trying to find better ways for me to create content, because this is a creative outlet of mine. This is something I enjoy. It is a passion of mine. Will it ever pay the bills? Maybe one day, but not now. Right now, this is just a hobby, and I'm trying my best to not let this be another abandoned ADHD hobby. And that's another thing I'm going to discuss probably in another video, some of my abandoned ADHD hobbies. There are some that I have no interest in doing anymore, and there are some that I really, really want to get back into doing. So anyway, appreciate your time. Thank you for this. I just wanted to share this with you. And, if you've made it this far, please, click subscribe, leave a comment in the section. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of negative comments, and quite frankly, I don't care. Feel free to leave as many negative comments as you want. Mostly because I hear a lot of negativity every day, and trust me, you can't roast me any harder than I roast myself. So, hope you have an amazing day, and I will talk to you soon. Later.